Welcome back to Like Kindi, where we're ready to continue our journey into the beauty of Chinese philosophy. After the first part with 20 profound sayings that opened up many perspectives and valuable lessons, today we delve deeper into this world of wisdom. Part 2 promises to bring even more powerful and meaningful philosophical quotes, helping us to continue enriching our souls and minds. Each philosophical saying is not just advice on how to live, but also an endless source of inspiration to face challenges and enjoy life. Join us in exploring, reflecting, and applying these lessons to our daily lives, turning them into powerful tools for building a better future. If you find value in these lessons and wish to continue being shared, explored, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button on our channel. Your action is not only a great encouragement for us, but also helps spread these positive values to more people. Together, let's create a loving community, ready to learn and grow every day. So without further ado, let's step into part 2, opening new pages filled with lessons and inspiration from Chinese philosophy. Ultimate excellence does not lie in winning every battle, but in defeating the enemy without needing to fight. Excellence in strategy is measured not only by victories on the battlefield, but also by the ability to resolve conflicts without direct confrontation. This reflects a deep understanding of the nature of power, mental strength, and the importance of intelligence in handling tasks and achieving goals. For example, from history, Zhuge Liang, 181 to 234, also known as Kongming, was an outstanding strategist, politician, and diplomat in Chinese history. By applying wisdom, a deep understanding of the opponent's psychology, and the surrounding environment, Kongming won many times without resorting to force, thereby minimizing damage and maximizing benefits. In business, this principle is also widely applied. Apple and Samsung, despite being fierce competitors, often collaborate in areas such as component supply. This way, both companies optimize their benefits, defeating other competitors without having to fight directly in the market, thereby creating sustainable growth for both. In everyday life, resolving conflicts through dialogue and mutual understanding, instead of confrontation and conflict, is also a very smart way to handle situations. A person who can keep themselves from the traps of anger and understand the perspectives of others, thereby finding a reasonable solution, has truly defeated their inner enemy, which is anger, misunderstanding, and unnecessary loss. Not always confronting difficulties and winning is good. If it's possible to resolve without direct confrontation, then do so. Knowledge is a treasure, and practice is the key to that treasure. The true essence of learning becomes clear only when we apply what we know, turning abstract concepts into tangible outcomes. For instance, consider Thomas Edison's invention of the light bulb. His theoretical knowledge about electricity was vast, but it was through continuous experiments and application, over 1,000 failed attempts, that he finally succeeded in creating a functioning light bulb. This is one of many cases illustrating that knowledge attains its real value when put into practice. Similarly, in the field of medicine, a doctor's extensive knowledge from textbooks and lectures forms the foundation of their expertise. However, it's their years of practice in hospitals, facing diverse cases, that sharpens their skills and makes them proficient. The transition from knowledge to practice is evident in the way a surgeon's hands move with precision during surgery, a skill that could never be mastered by reading alone. Thus, while knowledge is undoubtedly a vast treasure waiting to be discovered, it remains inert until we unlock it with the key of practice. Only then can we truly grow, innovate, and achieve excellence in any field. Have you found and unlocked your own treasure yet? Those who know don't say, those who say don't know. In reality, those who are truly wise and deeply understand a particular field often exhibit humility and seldom boast about their knowledge. They recognize that knowledge is infinite and there's always something new to learn. Thus, they tend to adopt an attitude of listening and observing more than speaking. Conversely, those who like to showcase themselves through speech are usually not deeply knowledgeable. They might talk a lot about a topic, but in reality, their knowledge might be superficial or limited. This not only diminishes the value of the information they share, but also reflects a lack of confidence and a need for recognition from others. Scientists and researchers are often quiet. They immerse themselves in their work to analyze and learn, diligently in their labs, dedicating their lives to exploration and research. Their work speaks for itself, without the need for words or boasting. In daily life, we also see that those who truly understand a matter, such as a skilled artisan or a talented artist, often choose to express themselves through their work and creations rather than through words. Thus, we must be humble and recognize that understanding comes from continuous learning, observation, and practice, not from showing off or talking a lot. This is an important lesson in humility and respecting true knowledge. Choose a job you love, and you will never have to work a day in your life. When you select a profession, not just for the sake of making a living, but also as a quest for passion and happiness in your work, it brings deep satisfaction and meaning to life. When work becomes a passion, every working day is no longer a burden, but a joy, a journey to fulfill dreams and discover oneself. Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, did not only create breakthrough products, but also inspired millions with his creative thinking and passion for technology. Jobs believed that pursuing passion, no matter how challenging it may be, leads to success and happiness. In the arts, composer Ludwig van Beethoven continued to create magnificent works despite being deaf. His passion for music drove him to overcome all limitations, leaving behind immortal works for the world. When you put your heart into the work you love, every challenge can be overcome, and every working day becomes meaningful. It's not just a way to achieve success, but also a path to a happy and fulfilling life. Prepare for the difficult while it is easy. By planning ahead and preparing before issues become too challenging to resolve, we can minimize risks and enhance our chances of success. Successful businesses are those that not only respond to the market and challenges swiftly, but also anticipate issues and prepare solutions before they escalate into crises. Amazon, with its establishment of warehousing and logistics systems, before the rapid increase in demand for quick deliveries, serves as an example. For individuals, learning a new skill before it becomes essential for personal development or career advancement also reflects this principle. Learners not only save time and effort when they are already equipped with the necessary knowledge and skills, but also position themselves advantageously to seize new opportunities. Even in personal health management, maintaining a healthy lifestyle and undergoing regular health checks are ways to preemptively prepare for potential health issues, enabling early detection and treatment of problems before they become severe. Always be proactive in every situation, preparing for difficulties and challenges before they become too big to handle. This is the secret not just to success, but also to a safe and fulfilling life. Give a man a bowl of rice, and you feed him for a day. Teach him how to grow rice, and you save his life. A bowl of rice provides satiety momentarily, but knowledge creates the capability for self-sufficiency and long-term sustainability. Community development programs have proven the effectiveness of this approach. For instance, agricultural education projects in developing countries not only help improve agricultural output, but also enhance community knowledge about nutrition and resource management, thereby improving health and reducing poverty. In education, the teach a man to fish approach rather than giving a fish enables students to develop critical thinking and problem-solving skills. This not only aids them in their studies, but also in their careers and later life, equipping them with the tools to confidently face and overcome challenges. We cannot assist a person continuously and forever, only they can overcome by themselves. Investing in their ability to save themselves is an investment that yields long-term and profound benefits, not only for the individual, but also for the community and society at large. Successful people blame themselves, while unsuccessful people blame others. When we look at successful individuals, we often find they possess a high sense of responsibility towards themselves and others. They understand that, on the journey to success, failures and mistakes are inevitable, but what matters is how they confront and learn from these experiences. Instead of blaming circumstances or others, they choose to self-reflect and seek improvement, which helps them identify and refine their shortcomings daily. A prime example is billionaire Elon Musk, one of the most successful entrepreneurs in the world today. Despite facing numerous failures, from unsuccessful SpaceX rocket launches to Tesla's production challenges, Musk never blames his team or any external factors. Instead, he always seeks to understand the reasons behind each failure and learns from them to avoid repeating the same mistakes in the future. As a result, Musk is currently the richest person in the world. Conversely, unsuccessful individuals often tend to evade responsibility and look for external reasons to justify their lack of success. It could be that they fear facing the truth, or the outcome not meeting their expectations makes them feel disheartened. This not only hinders their personal development, but also deprives them of the opportunity to learn and progress. We can see that blaming oneself is not about self-inflicted suffering, but represents a high level of self-awareness, an essential step towards improvement and growth. It requires courage to face reality, humility to recognize one's imperfections, and willingness to change for the better. In summary, the difference between successful and unsuccessful people lies not only in their outcomes, but also in how they face and learn from failures. This is a valuable lesson for anyone on the path to pursuing their goals and dreams. What is bad for one person at one time may become good at another time for someone else. Life is always changing, and nothing is permanent, just as what we consider good or bad can swap places at any time. There's a story about a farmer who lost his horse, and everyone in the village said it was a misfortune. He was very sad and disappointed. However, a few days later, the horse returned with a herd of wild horses. The villagers changed their opinion. But then, the farmer's son was injured while trying to tame one of the wild horses, and everyone said it was a misfortune again. The story continues with a series of events considered fortunate or unfortunate, depending on the perspective and the moment. This illustrates that what we see as misfortune at one time can open the door to new opportunities that we could never foresee. I believe that in life, maintaining a flexible attitude and being open to all possibilities is crucial. This not only helps us face events more positively, but also enables us to make the most of every situation, even if it doesn't seem promising at first. More importantly, keeping a broad perspective on life, recognizing that each event can have different meanings and values depending on the viewpoint and the moment, is vital. And sometimes, the greatest challenges and difficulties can bring us the most valuable lessons and rewards. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Consider the life of Nelson Mandela, who spent 27 years in prison under the apartheid regime, simply for advocating for freedom and equality. What made him great wasn't just his endurance, but his ability to always stand up, continue the fight, and eventually lead his country towards peace and reconciliation. J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series, is another figure who cannot be overlooked. She faced the darkest times of her life, from being rejected by numerous publishers to living in poverty and battling depression. Yet she never gave up on her dream. Ultimately, she rose from her failures, and the success of Harry Potter completely transformed her life. These stories, along with thousands of others, demonstrate that true glory doesn't come from avoiding failure, but from knowing how to rise after each fall. This is even more relevant in today's world, where we face challenges not just externally, but also from within ourselves. Therefore, this saying is not just advice, but a principle for living. It reminds us that no matter what, as long as we don't give up and continue moving forward, we still have roads to travel and hopes to chase. Living for others' praise makes you their prisoner. Should we live according to our own standards or seek approval from others? In the era of social media, where people easily get caught up in the invisible race for likes and follows, reminding ourselves of the real value of life is more important than ever. Artists begin their careers with a burning passion to create unique and meaningful works. However, when they start focusing too much on pleasing audiences, or attracting more attention, they risk losing their own identity and unique creativity. This not only can degrade the quality of their work, but also make them feel trapped in a cage between fame and individuality, gradually losing freedom in the very work they initially pursued out of passion. The same applies to each of us. If we constantly strive to meet others' expectations and live for their praise, we will lose ourselves. This not only makes us unhappy, but also creates unnecessary pressure to always appear perfect in others' eyes. Instead, we should focus on living a life we are proud of, pursuing our passions and goals regardless of others' criticism or praise, as long as it does not negatively impact others in society. By being true to ourselves and our values, we free ourselves from the burden of external judgment and find true happiness from within. Greatness lies in not losing one's innocent heart. Children, in their youth, perceive the world with curiosity, belief, and boundless kindness. They do not complicate things with prejudice or skepticism, but instead, they express love and joy in every moment. Greatness, not necessarily marked by significant achievements in material terms or power, is embodied by those who maintain a pure and innocent heart amid a world filled with temptations and challenges. It is someone who knows how to love, cherish, and admire the beauty of life without being overshadowed by selfish calculations or personal gain. Steve Jobs, in his famous commencement speech at Stanford University, talked about pursuing one's passion and maintaining faith, no matter where life takes you. Jobs was not only a brilliant innovator, but also a person who dared to live according to his heart's call, despite the difficulties and failures he faced. To me, keeping an innocent heart is a continuous journey of self-reflection and self-improvement. It requires an open spirit, willing to learn and understand, while not allowing oneself to become rigid or lose flexibility. It involves maintaining belief in the good and continually striving to make a positive difference, regardless of how the world around changes. Ultimately, I believe that to become great, we must learn to return to our innocent hearts, where the most genuine love, joy, and aspirations reside. If what a person has to say is not better than silence, then they should remain silent. Sometimes we find ourselves compelled to constantly speak out and share our opinions, but this doesn't always prove beneficial. From personal experience, I've realized that in many situations, silence not only prevents me from uttering words that could harm or be misunderstood, but also offers the opportunity to listen more attentively and reflect deeply on the issue at hand. I recall a meeting where, instead of hastily sharing my immediate thoughts without thorough consideration, I chose to listen carefully to others and reflect before speaking. This approach allowed me to address several oversights in my initial thoughts and made my contributions far more effective. This principle is particularly important in personal relationships, where impulsive, unconsidered words can easily hurt others. Silence is not always the absence of communication. Sometimes it is the most powerful form of communication, allowing us to absorb and process information thoroughly before sharing our viewpoint. Knowing when to keep silent can be a sign of wisdom and maturity. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. In the natural world, everything unfolds at its own pace and ultimately achieves its purpose without any rush or stress. Trees do not hurry to bloom. They gradually absorb nutrients and sunlight, eventually blossoming into beautiful flowers. Likewise, a river flows gently, without haste, yet eventually reaches the sea. In a society increasingly demanding speed and efficiency, we can easily become stressed and anxious about having to complete everything immediately. However, by embracing and practicing patience, we can actually enhance our work efficiency and reduce pressure on ourselves. A typical example in daily life might be the process of learning a new skill. Initially, it may seem difficult and time-consuming, but by not rushing and gradually practicing, that skill will eventually be mastered and refined. Similarly, in personal or professional development, setting long-term goals and progressing step by step can lead to more sustainable results than seeking quick success without a solid foundation. Therefore, we should live our lives in the same manner, not in haste, but always persistent and trusting in the process, knowing that eventually everything will fall into place. What you do not want done to yourself, do not do to others. This is not just a simple piece of advice, but a fundamental principle of social interaction and humanity. When we grasp the profound meaning of this statement, we realize it's not just about not harming others, but about putting ourselves in their shoes and understanding their emotional states and needs. This requires the ability to empathize, willing to understand and share the pain, joy, or anxiety of others. Once we become aware of what we wouldn't want someone to do to us, such as betrayal, insult, or disdain, we set a rule for ourselves that we will not do those things to others. This is not only a manifestation of respect and personal ethics, but also a way to build healthy and lasting relationships with others. Moreover, this statement also emphasizes fairness and social justice. By applying this principle in our daily lives, we help create a more equitable and peaceful social environment where everyone is treated the way they wish to be treated. In conclusion, this saying is not merely advice, but a principle for living, a moral guideline for everyone in their daily lives. It reminds us of the importance of empathy and respect for others, and serves as the foundation for a civilized and peaceful society. If he sends aid everywhere, he will be weak everywhere. When an individual or organization attempts to spread their resources too thinly without a clear goal or direction, they may lose focus and efficiency in their activities. Instead of concentrating on a few key relationships or projects that are of utmost importance, they end up spending time and energy on too many activities that are either meaningless or do not achieve the desired outcomes. For instance, if a person decides to provide financial aid to every charity or group in need without discrimination, they might spread their resources without making a significant impact anywhere. Instead, they may lack the resources to advance specific projects or provide strategic support to specific organizations, leading to missed opportunities to make a real difference. Therefore, this statement emphasizes the importance of focusing and prioritizing activities and relationships to create the most positive and lasting impact. Rather than dispersing resources, it's crucial to concentrate on important goals and seek ways to optimize performance in one's activities. People who talk a lot often fail. When undertaking any task, it's essential to focus entirely on the work at hand, not just talk about intending to do it. People who talk a lot tend to spend too much time and energy discussing or presenting their ideas without investing sufficiently in action or executing plans. They may get caught up in talking and fail to achieve tangible results. In the workplace or in daily life, this can lead to a lack of focus, poor performance, and outcomes that do not meet expectations. However, there are other contexts to consider. Some people talk a lot but know how to use their words to convey messages, motivate, or connect with others. They have strong communication skills and use their speech as a tool to achieve goals and succeed. Therefore, it's important to recognize that talking a lot does not necessarily lead to failure. What matters is how a person uses their words and the extent to which they focus on action and plan execution. Balancing speech and action is crucial for achieving positive outcomes and success. Overcoming others gives you strength. Overcoming yourself brings courage. When we overcome others, it means we surpass our competitors, obstacles, or challenging situations. This victory brings a sense of confidence and strength because we have proven our abilities and can effectively face external challenges. For instance, when a football team defeats strong opponents in an important match, they not only showcase their skills and strength, but also earn confidence and respect from their rivals and fans. This victory provides the motivation and momentum for the team to continue growing and succeeding in future challenges. However, overcoming oneself is a more challenging task that requires greater courage and determination. Overcoming oneself means surpassing one's own limits, fears, or internal prejudices. This demands self-awareness, self-control, and the ability to embrace risk and failure. Imagine a person afraid of heights who engages in extreme activities like skydiving from a plane or participating in a mountain climbing challenge. Overcoming this fear not only brings a sense of fulfillment and pride, but also fosters courage and resilience to face other difficult challenges in life. Both the direct opponent and oneself are adversaries that must be overcome if one wishes to succeed and advance further in life. It doesn't matter how slow you go, as long as you do not stop. In life, there are times when we feel overwhelmed and uncertain about what comes next. We might have set certain goals or plans, but as time goes by, we feel like we're not progressing as quickly as we hoped. Sometimes the path to success can be long and thorny, but what's important is that we never give up and keep moving forward every day. During work, there might be periods when you feel like you're putting in a lot of effort without seeing any significant results. However, we don't stop. We continue striving every day, and eventually success will come. Sometimes, even the smallest steps can lead to big changes in our personal development and career. Even in personal life, there may be times when you feel you're moving slowly and unsure of your direction. However, not giving up and continuing to explore, learn, and grow will help you find your way. In summary, this saying emphasizes the importance of maintaining patience, determination, and commitment in moving forward, even if progress slows down. The key is not to stop and to keep moving every day, because only then can we achieve our goals and ultimately succeed. Life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated. In essence, life can be considered simple if we focus on the basics and the most important values. It's crucial to prioritize and concentrate on what truly matters to us. Happiness often stems from simple things like love from family and friends, satisfaction from work, or joy from engaging in leisure activities and enjoying daily life. When we focus on these aspects, life becomes simpler and more joyful. However, we often create complexity in our lives by worrying too much about insignificant issues, losing focus on what's important, or placing too much pressure on ourselves. This leads us to perceive life as more complicated than it actually is, due to our own creations. Simplifying life by focusing on the most important things and not being disturbed by trivial issues allows us to see that life is not as complicated as we think. We can then enjoy happiness and peace in our daily lives. There is no greater misfortune than greed. Greed is a mental state where individuals constantly desire more, never feeling satisfied with what they have and always wanting more, even by any means necessary, including disregarding morals and ethics. When people become greedy, they may resort to any method to achieve their goals, including cheating, deceit, or exploiting others. This not only harms themselves, but also has negative consequences for those around them in the community. In the case of two companies operating in the same market sector, one company's greed can lead to unhealthy competition, market manipulation, or even illicit actions such as fraud and deception. The consequences of greed extend beyond losing the trust of customers and business partners. It can also cause significant damage to the sustainable development of society and the economy. Instead of pursuing indefinite wealth and power, we should focus on the true value and meaning of life, to create happiness and peace for ourselves and society. It looks like you've crafted a beautiful closing for a series of reflections or analyses, likely intended for an audience engaged in personal growth or interested in Eastern philosophy. While I can't directly interact or promote YouTube channels or social media engagements, I can certainly appreciate the sentiment behind your message. If there's anything specific you'd like to discuss further or explore, whether it's related to Eastern philosophy, personal development strategies, or anything else, feel free to share. I'm here to help with information, advice, or even more discussions to enrich your journey towards personal improvement.